because I know that Giri, whenever you cook on stream, you do let Onibro try pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, everything.
So, but I know you said you haven't repeated anything on stream. Have you repeated any of those foods off stream to like make something better or try it again?
Only for the ones where I guess it doesn't take like 3 hours to slow cook kind of thing, because with streaming I don't have that much time anymore. But if it's like a carbonara, for example, I did retry it once again, because I'm infamously known as the one who made scrambled egg carbonara.
Yep.
Oh God!
It was during a collab,
no.
and then our like ongoing joke with the friend that came on to teach me that, it was like, oh, Giri, grandma's so senile, can't make carbonara. I was like, well, you didn't give me good instructions, blah blah blah, whatever, right? We just take jabs at each other, but regardless, I did end up making scrambled egg carbonara on stream. Very unfortunate, but I actually did try it. I did retry recently. Still scrambly. Still a little bit scrambly. A little less scrambly.
Totally
but,
it's just there's just eggs in your pasta. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. That's how I always say. You know, I'm like, did you eat it?
Yeah.
Yes. Then it wasn't a waste.
Yeah.
Right. You still had dinner. Like I think
that's good practice.
that is one interesting thing, because I know that like with YouTube, a lot of YouTube channels that are cooking will not show mistakes, right? But on stream, you kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Right? And I think there's something powerful behind that.
Yeah, I think that's the good part, because honestly, when I was doing a lot of, like back in the day, like 3 years ago, something like that, I was doing a lot of like cooking content, like a tutorial, like how to make this food from this anime or whatever. And it used to actually, I got really burnt out on filming those videos, because it would be so stressful to me, because I didn't have time to practice off camera. So every time I filmed a tutorial, I was filming it for the first time ever that I'd ever made it. And sometimes there are just like inevitable mistakes that you make, and I would have to try to cut around them, and it would cause me so much anxiety, because I felt like I had to present this like perfect recipe, that I really got burnt out. And that's why I was really excited to move on to do the cookbook that I was working on, because in that medium you can test it as much as you want before you put your final recipe in the book and your final instructions and stuff. But like a stream just feels so much more natural, like, oh, I messed up, and that happens to everyone, no matter your level. And I like that authenticity behind it.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Giri? Like, does your community like embrace that aspect of it, like the fails and stuff like that?
Oh, they love embracing my.
They love the good fails.
They love embracing my fail. What are you even talking about? They love it when I mess up.
You know my chat. Yeah.
But no, my chat actually has been very kind, because I actually enjoy making things for the first time on stream. I might be a masochist. There might be something wrong with me, but a lot of times I just want, because I just want to experiment, and I just don't have the time to experiment off stream. And I feel like it kind of takes away like the first response, I guess, or like the organic, like, oh, I did great, or I did terribly. It doesn't even matter. Like, but it's just kind of like an experimentation with chat. And for my chat, because they already kind of know I'm a cooking VTuber, they like to help. I like to ask for their help. I like to ask for their opinion. I'm very open to backseating, even when it comes to cooking. And they're very respectful of that space. Like, they might be like, oh, bully Giri, ha ha ha, but they will never overstep when it comes to oversharing or backseating. So usually I would just ask, like, oh, am I doing this wrong, guys? What do you think? What's going on here? Any Mexicans in the chat? Any Filipinos in the chat? Anybody from Indonesia right now that can help me out? And then they will be very eager to represent their country, represent like their background and stuff. And then I learned from that. So a lot of and there were definitely, because I do turn my streams into YouTube videos. So when I first started streaming, obviously it's dishes that I'm well versed in, things that I've cooked for myself over and over again. But eventually you do run out of like those kind of dishes. That's why I'm like, I'll experiment. I'll try something new. Things I want to try eating I haven't made before. And then when those turn into videos, I always get nervous, because like, oh, it's not the beautiful dish. There's like something wrong with it. The fish is too big. The sauce is incorrect. But I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. My outro is like, sorry, didn't turn out well, chat, but it'll be better next time. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I think as creators, it kind of shows like that more human side, right? Where I think we need to kind of move away from that like perfect day or vision or what. Like, yes, there are some things you want to look up on, like how I don't know, replace a pipe or something like that. You want to know how to do that correctly. But it's even for me, when I do food videos, I never practice anything. I'm like, nope, we're recording this video today. Whatever happens, happens. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I show it, and I like, maybe I remake it for that during that video. I'm like, nope, I messed up. I have to go again. But what I found is that it makes more of like that connection with your audience, because you're watching someone. I guess like in my case, I've been cooking my whole life, and it's like, if this guy makes a mistake, it's 100% okay for me to make a mistake and like try to foster that feeling.
Yeah, mistakes are relatable. People identify with that, and they like it. They like it when you also can have the humility to be like, oh, I made a mistake. Sorry, guys. Like, let's fix it right now. Like, let's work on it, because that's human. That's what people do in real life. You know, nobody is perfect ever. And I think in a lot of ways, that's where internet culture has changed over the past couple of years. It's gone from very much like, this content creator has to be perfect. They have to be the expert in this. They have to be able to, you know, embody all of these things that we think a star or like a person in charge should have, and just be more relatable and more like accessible. And I'm very happy to see that that's where things are going, because I think there's like definitely a generation of people who got really like burnt out and anxious about being online, because there was that pressure of like, oh, if I'm gonna be behind a camera and speaking into an expensive microphone or whatever, I have to sound and look and whatever perfect, and that's just unsustainable in the long run.
I guess that's also a benefit of being a VTuber, right? You throw on your blue suit, you just like start going.
Yeah,
right?
no, the benefit of that, as for streaming in general, is as like, mistakes is content. Chaos is content. That's why now I don't fear messing up, and I actually somehow, to some extent, welcome it. Like when I have friends on, they're like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I don't know how to cook." I'm great. Even better.
Great, perfect. Yeah.
please teach me how to cook, because it's content, right? And that's what we are. We're content creators. We're not. Well, I mean, for me, I'm not a chef. I'm not trained. I'm a streamer. Number one, I'm a streamer. I'm a content creator. So if I create content, at the end of the day, that's fine.
That's what you're looking for. Yeah.
I love that. So on that content creator note, what do you really want to do next that is within streaming, YouTube, whatever it is? What's one thing that's just been like racking your brain of like, I need to do this, that you can talk about?
Okay. Well, I don't want to expose too much, but I would love to go 3D.
That's gonna be the thumbnail. Giri exposed.
I want to go 3D, not just my body, but
everything.
We'll
talk. I have some
mean?
thoughts. I follow the virtual reality community pretty tightly. I invest in VR stuff. I don't know if that's the direction you're going, but 3D Giri sounds amazing. And we're talking about like
more than just VR. It's like not going to be
Code
VR
Nico?
chat. Pardon
like
me.
Code Nico stuff.
Code Nico.
Nico, is it Nico?
I think similar, but not quite. And then also, as far as like content goes, I would love to do maybe like real life shokugekis, where I can like maybe rent out like a warehouse or something and actually fly friends over and have like when the technology is there, or maybe only bro can think of something, you know, where he can like track all the VTubers and stuff. Yeah, and then like we can have like a fun shokugeki type of thing. I think that would be really cool to like film or stream, but that's in the future. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fun project.
I used to do shokugekis on my channel. I only did like 3 ever, because they were really, really hard to produce in my little apartment with one camera. But they're so fun, and there's so much that you can do with them. I think I did once, like, we did a shokugeki of like food that you would make if you were trying to survive the world of Attack on Titan, and it got like really specific. We went out and got like, I made human meat, which is weirdly
Tartar.
Something that I and my other friend was like, I'm gonna pretend like my horse died and I gotta make a steak, and she just cooked a steak, and it was just so fun. There's so much you can do with it, and it's always a good time.
Yeah,
I love that. I love seeing creators kind of reaching outside of the box to create more content and like more new exciting things.